I hate that 3-second countdown it does when I'm trying to get to the next video because it makes me lose my momentum. Fuck. Okay. I was talking about the acid, and the anxiety develops its own thing. I'm sure you guys are frustrated when I do this, and I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna go back to where I was, and I'll find out where I was anyway. So when your body develops a natural defense for your anxiety, and I'm not used to I always have to have one foot in the door, and I knew that if I kept my music on, I was good. That's what I knew, and it wasn't like scary because I know not to get scared by that. I knew not to think about holy shit, I need this music, otherwise things are gonna go very bad. So I just played it, you know what I'm saying, and I just went along with it. And the thing about acid, especially when you don't take more than a hit or so, and a hit, it can be a lot of things, because I'm talking about just blotter acid right now. It could be a very potent, but for the general idea, it's 1 or 2 drops. So I took it, fuck. I had a good momentum. I wish I didn't have to be a YouTube partner and director to be able to make videos over 15 minutes long. I wish I could just... There's some people I see that have one video, but it's they upload a whole movie. I don't get how they do that. Anyway, so what was I saying about one hit? Fuck. Okay, so let me just get back to the story. We were in the car, and we get in the car back down from Lithia, and by the time we get in the car, I'm like, okay, I have a lot of anxiety that sparks from claustrophobia at a primal level, because I actually don't have a problem with at a face value, I don't have a problem with closed-in spaces. But when you put my body in them, my anxiety kicks in without my head even being a part of it, really. It's very primal. My chest starts to hurt, and I just get very antsy. So I knew that when I got in his little hot-ass car, it's not as big as Lithia Park, obviously. So I get in the car, and I'm and everything's going fine. Oh, here's what I was saying. The thing about acid, before you take too much, all it really does is amplify. It just amplifies the fuck out of everything. So if you're feeling good, you're going to feel incredible, almost like a spiritual thing. But, as you can imagine, when anxiety kicks in, it's in your face. There's no getting around it. Once you start slipping, you are fucking going. And I've only started slipping once on acid, and that was during that, I told that trip on my Facing the Abyss story, where I went out and I was circling the hotel, and it was like nothing I was doing. I eventually just climaxed into just curling up into a ball in the parking lot at 4 a.m. But that was starting to happen because we had to drive we were going to go get food or something for Owen, because Owen was hungry, and obviously being on acid, last thing I could think about was food and stuff. I was just keeping water in my system and just enjoying myself. But Owen says, I remember Owen, he was just very hungry, so we decided we were going to go get food. Before we did that, though, we drove from Lithia to Medford, and that is, and fuck, it's taken me forever to get to this part of the story, get out of Lithia. But we got in the car, and we go, the Rogue Valley goes Ashland, and then there's Talent, which is my home, just some little random town. Most people would just go there for the Walmart that used to be there. And then between Talent and Medford is the big city hub. If you actually need stuff and need to go to the mall or whatever, you go to Medford. But between Talent and Medford, there's this shit-ass town called Phoenix, which shouldn't even be called Phoenix. It shouldn't even have a name. It's just this shit-ass place with 6 okay buildings and mostly dirt and a road. But there's this really good Mexican place there called La Tapatía, not to be confused with El Tapatio, because that place is ass. You gotta go to La Tapatía, and they're actually really fucking good. And I'd like to show you my phone. I don't know where my phone is, but we got pictures there during this trip. We get in there, and I immediately got the paranoia, the typical weed paranoia feeling of everyone knows you're high and everyone's looking at you. But you know, given, you know, I'm Travis, I have experience, I can, so I get in there, I'm like, you know, I'll just handle my shit. I keep my music playing. Owen orders like some big ass crazy burrito, and Jason orders something. Mind you, Jason this whole time has been totally cool. I'm not even sure, as far as I'm concerned, I don't even know if he really took the acid. I just remember him saying, you know, I'd love that third hit if you want to give it to me, and I gave it to him, but I don't actually remember ever seeing him take it. And I never saw his eye, like his pupils dilated or anything. And when we got there, he was eating, like, he ate with Owen, like he got his own taco and stuff. And I remember, so here's what happened. This is where everything went hellish. So it's me and Lynn sitting, I need some water, okay. So it's me and Lynn sitting here, me, Lynn, and in front of us is Jason and Owen. So I have Lynn over here to my right, Owen front right, Jason in front of me. Behind Jason, because we're like near the back wall, this is just some like, you gotta remember, this is shit ass Phoenix. While this is an amazing Mexican place, that's not because of the environment itself. It's because the food is amazing. This is just some shit ass, like, it's like a hallway, and at the end it opens up into almost like a high school cafeteria type thing, just lined up tables up to like they go back to a wall, and like two monitors with Spanish soap operas playing. And you know how Spanish soap operas are. It's like it's filmed by a high school student. And so I have the general feeling of like, you know, people are looking at me, and everybody knows you're high, and you know, I'm just fighting that off, and I'm just trying to listen to my music, and I'm fingerboarding or whatever. And it got really fucking bad. And I remember I just ended up in like this time loop. I kept checking my phone, and it kept being like 5:08. We took the acid at 4, and I kept looking at my phone, and it kept being 5:08. And I was like, what the fuck? And you know, obviously eventually it became 5:09, but time just seemed really fucking slow. It seemed like we were there forever, and the food still didn't even come. And I just remember telling myself, you know, as we got in there, like, you know, I just need to relax, and I need to, you know, just sit this through, and then we'll get back outside and get back in the car and go do whatever. Oh shit, I forgot to say that first we went to Medford. Yeah, before we got to Phoenix to get Owen his food, we stopped at Medford because we needed to give Carly. I'll get into meeting Carly. That's my ex and stuff. If you're new to my video, if you're not new to my videos, you know who Carly is. Carly was there. And we went to the smoke shop she works at. She works at a cool little smoke shop. She's pretty good at that job. And I had to give her back like her dabber piece that she left in the hotel and something else. And I had to pick up some pieces for my vape. And ooh, here's my vape, by the way. I've been into just regular vapor lately. It's really nice. I just enjoy the process of it, and it tastes really nice. Helps with my anxiety a lot, just having something to fuck with. Anyway. So we had to get there, and we stopped at the hotel for something. Anyway, so we get back to this food place, and this is where things start to get bad, because I realized like halfway through, my strategy isn't going to work, because we're not even halfway through this shit, and I'm like ready to go, and Owen still hasn't gotten his big fucking burrito yet. And I'm like, holy shit, this is going to get bad. And as this is happening, I look up, and I realize this lady behind Jason, so in front of me, behind Jason, keeps looking over and looking directly at me. And not because I'm high, like this isn't me being high, there's none of that. She is looking directly fucking at me, and like every time I look away, she gets an extra, she's like looking deeper. Like I can see it in the corner of my eye. And I look over at her, and it's just some like 50, 60-year-old white-haired white lady. And she just keeps looking at me like intensely, like almost as if she's disappointed in me, and she can tell that I'm high. I mean, obviously I am. You know, I'm looking around with my eyes all like this, and I'm like fingerboarding, just real, you know, but mind your own fucking business, lady. I'm just chilling with my friends. And eventually I couldn't take it. And I look over, I'm like, what? I was like, what? Just like, come talk to me, please. Like, I looked friendly. I'm a friendly guy. And I was clearly being very open and talky, but she just fucking staring me down. And so I'm like, okay. I eventually just got to a climax, and I didn't even tell Lynn. I just got up and started leaving. And I remember Jason or Owen saying, "Where are you going?" I said to get some fresh air. And we walk outside, and I realize Lynn's behind me. And we get out, and I realize, holy shit, Lynn hasn't said shit this whole time. She's just been sitting there. And I go back and I look at these pictures. I'd show you my phone's in there. I'm sorry. It's in the kitchen. I realize she is in the same boat. She's just, because she's a little bit younger and stuff, she's all fucking confused. Even though she's the one that originally wanted to take it more than anybody. She's like having like this crazy confusion thing. Like she wasn't even like sure how to like get it out into words. So like she just follows me out because I'm her boyfriend, and we get out and we realize like, holy shit, this isn't help at all. Because we're in shit ass Phoenix, like at least 5,000 miles from home and everything we have and all of our resources. So we're just like, okay, we just need to stay out here and get to the hotel eventually. And by that point, a lot of a bad trip comes from just accepting that you're having a bad trip. That's when a lot of it gets really bad, is when you just tell yourself, you know, I'm having a bad trip and this is happening. And that's where we were when we got outside. So we were like, okay, we just need to get back to the hotel. But I just remember the reason I got outside was so that I could get a fucking way from everybody. And if you go back to my Facing the Abyss video, when I talk about my other acid trip in the hotel, but not during that trip, I had actually taken acid and when that thing happened where I almost got like murder raped, the reason I was out in that hotel was because Lynn would not shut the fuck up. She has a tendency, and I'm sorry if you see this, Lynn, she has a tendency to not shut the fuck up when I'm like trying to enjoy my trip and stuff, especially if she's tripping, because she wants to lay it all on me and how she feels and stuff, because she doesn't understand that I'm having my own thing. But like I'm trying to like guide her and make sure she's okay when she's telling me all that, but like on top of my own shit, it's just fucking, it's annoying. I'm not a shaman, okay? I mean, I'm good at distributing trips, and like I prefer people come to me than most other people when they're trying to have their first thing, but I'm by no means a shaman. I mean, I'm still having my own shit over here. So anyway, we get out, and I realize she's like right fucking behind me. And I'm like, Lynn, look, I understand we talked for a second. I was like, and my chest was really hurting by now, because that's what anxiety does to me. Anxiety equals adrenaline equals chest muscle contractions, which makes it feel like a heart problem, which does not help. And eventually it starts to affect your breathing and all that. Even just talking about it, as you can tell, is giving me some anxiety. So we get out there, and I'm like, Lynn, I came out here to just be alone. Can I understand we need to just get to the hotel, and we were sitting by Owen's car out in the parking lot, and it was fucking hot as shit, and we just had this big ass water bottle, and I'm just like, just sit here with the water, and I'm just gonna get up and I'm just gonna walk down the street and come back. And I get up and start walking, and sure enough, she's right fucking behind me, and not even behind me, like beside me. And I'm like, just okay, she's obviously not gonna go in, just get this walk through. And we start, before we even get to the end of like the block or whatever, I'm like, please, and I didn't want to make her trip worse, mind you, because I mean, I love this girl as my girlfriend. I was just like, but I yelled at her. I'm like, Lynn, fucking stop, fucking leave me alone. And she took that, because she's on acid and stuff, as like I'm leaving her and she's gonna die away from home in like this hellish, like crazy mind loop, and I could feel that coming from her, and it was just this perpetually increasing anxiety, and like we're just walking back and forth, and like I remember just at some point I was like, okay, if you're not just gonna leave me alone, then just wait here and let me walk forward a couple seconds, and just then start walking. And like, just nothing worked. She was constantly right the fuck beside me the whole time, and we talked that out later, and I realized because she thought that like the acid was like telling her that she was gonna die or something, that like if she left my side, because like I'm her guardian or something. Like I don't know, it was just weird. And so yeah, that was happening, and eventually Owen finally comes out. No, we went back in at one point just to see where what they were doing, because it felt like we were out there forever too. And the truth is, we were. It wasn't just the acid. Like we were looking at our phones, and it was like at least an hour fucking process to eat a burrito. And finally they come out. Or we had gone back in to check to see if they were eating, and yeah, they were starting to eat and stuff. But they were just fine, especially Jason, who you would think he would at least want to talk to the people that's on acid. Nope, he's fine. Jason's fine. What just happened here? Okay. And Jason's fine. And we go back in, and we're like, okay, well, they're just enjoying their time, and we just got back out fast, because it's just this hot, buzzing place with people and food and just foreign people. And so we get back out, and finally they fucking come out while we're sitting next to the car. And hold up, let me stop this and get to the next.